Welcome, everybody, back to another Game Vault podcast stream. I'm your host, Mark, and it's the News Hour. We're here tonight on a Sunday. A lot happened in this week, at least here on the channel. Some of it we're going to talk about in the news, and some of it we'll talk about up front here. But I hope you all are having a great week, and have some video games have started to come out, so hopefully you guys have been playing around with those. I've jumped into one, but yeah, it's been a fun week. It's came back to the swing of things. Niece's softball's coming up soon. Your boy got hired to do the way they put it to me was, would you like to keep score for the baseball softball team? Now, I have not heard back from the athletic director at Camden County College. Not that out where I work, but about whether, does that mean I'm doing the book in the dugout or am I doing the scoreboard? Not sure. But your boy got a little bit extended more payday from Camden County College for a couple more months. I'm trying to weasel my way into doing soccer in the fall, so I can just get paid and have a good second job. But yeah, that's been my week in terms of that stuff. Also got to watch the podcast's favorite niece, Ash, play some basketball games. Thank you. Ooh, those work now. Ooh, I think I fixed those too. Nice. At least on my end. I hadn't been able to hear them in a while. I don't know if I fixed something by resetting the docks or something. But anyway, that's the whole thing. You had to be here for the pre-show. So it was pretty fun. She got robbed in one game. They literally took 2 points off the scoreboard. I think they may have given them the win. Not sure. Yeah, they got completely screwed in a game that went to overtime. And in this game here, I'll say one thing. I'll probably mention this on TC Tam too, or at least I'll mention it to them. I might not bring it up again because I don't like to do the same bits 2 weeks in a row. I don't know either, Tom. He might not know that there's a difference. This AD, while a good AD, I like him a lot. He's trying to do a lot of things at the college. Sometimes isn't very specific with his words. So I'm waiting to talk to the coach, Chip, for the women's basketball, that also coaches softball, because that was what you do at a junior college, to see what he knows what it means. I'm probably going to be doing the book, is what I'm expecting. I don't think they have a scoreboard for softball or baseball, but either way, I know how to do that. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so the great thing today, I'll circle back to the last point about Kitty Ashcat. I learned today that some people take youth sports entirely too seriously. And I'm not talking about like the parents that scream and holler and want their kids or yell at the ref or do all that. Like, that's fine. If they're doing that, whatever. I get that. But we literally had a parent. So her team, girl goes to the foul line, right? With like 1 second left. 2 shots ties the game, goes to overtime, whatever. They're 12, 13 years old. These aren't automatic shots. Not that they're automatic shots when you get older either, but they're young girls. So girl goes to the line, and on the first shot, a literal parent, not a kid or like something, literal grown-ass adult, as this 12-year-old girl is going to put up a foul shot, goes, real loud. A grown-ass adult tries to distract a 12-year-old girl from taking a foul shot. Like, that's where I'm like, come on, dude. Like, yeah. I don't mind, like, parents screaming at officials or screaming at their kid or screaming, like, that stuff is just idiot parents. But trying to distract a girl from shooting a free throw who probably has a 20% chance of making the shot to begin with. Anyway, it pissed me off. I did the thing where I said something to my sister in earshot of all those people. I don't know if they heard me. But I was like, oh man, I'm so glad that that one parent got to cough at that foul shot, because this win is the greatest thing that'll happen to him all week. So hopefully he heard me. But yeah, so that was me. Yeah. So anyway, to what I've been playing. So as you've all seen, we started the Should I Stream It? Or should I say, Should I Stream It? Which is our new Friday night show. There. And this week was Avowed, and will probably be Avowed for a while. I don't know when the next thing comes out. I think it's March sometime. But so we played through Avowed on Friday. I liked it a lot. We made a pretty kick-ass character with some of the mushrooms that you have to have, but we didn't make it too prominent. I kind of liked the look I had, and I didn't want the mushrooms fucking it up too much. So we kept it. I think I'm going to go Wizard. I do like the spells and all that. I've never been much of a shield and sword guy in any of these games, which is probably why I end up quitting a lot of Soulsborne games. And probably why Bloodborne was my favorite of them. Because that was almost exclusively no shield. Or is exclusively no shield, I should say. Yeah, so learning how this combat works. Since I'm not doing sword and shield, you know, I have to dodge, so I have to watch my stamina and all that, because spells also use stamina, and all that stuff. So I have to dodge to avoid things, and, you know, just kind of learning it. I died once just because I trapped myself in a corner while dodging, because it's first person. So yeah, I've really enjoyed the combat so far. Yeah, it's just the way I like to play. I'll probably play through it. I mean, the furthest I got in a Dark Souls game was Dark Souls 2. I got almost to the end, because the what's it called? I was doing the spells, and then the mace was like broken, in that game, a one-handed mace, and I was able to survive long with that being my melee if anybody got close. So maybe there's something like that. And this allows you to have two layouts. Like, I just hit Y, and it'll switch to I got a sword and mace backup in case if it gets tight quarters. But yeah, so. But so far in the game, what it's doing, and I really like the game. And what I'm going to say is it's run into the same problem so far, and I'm only 2.5 hours in. So take this with me being only 2.5 hours in. It has sort of the same problems that Outer Worlds had, in terms of it hasn't grabbed me with the story right away. Like, there's no hook yet in there. And even though Kai, the one side character I have, is voiced by Garrus from Mass Effect, outside of that, there's not much holding me to him. But again, 2.5 hours in, that'll probably come at some point, maybe. But Outer Worlds, I loved 90% of that game as a whole package. The 10% was, I didn't really give a shit about the companions. And the story, I kind of just lost it by the end. So I'm kind of hoping that this is a little better. Everything I've read says that it's, you know, back to New Vegas level, and I cared a lot about the story and stuff in New Vegas. What I need is I probably need to find the evil guy. Like, the big bad evil guy that we're going to be fighting in this. Like, I have to find that soon. And normally, if I really hate the big bad evil guy, it'll give me the hook I need to push through the story. Ooh, excuse me. So I'm waiting for that. Probably going to come soon. But it's got the same issue I had with Outer Wilds. going through it, or Outer Worlds, I should say. But I will say, combat is much better and much more engaging than Outer Worlds was. It definitely feels like a return to all the other Obsidian games I played previously, even for a little bit. It very much seems like Outer Worlds was kind of a little bit of an outlier. Jesus. In that respect. And, so I plan on keep playing it. I was going to play it today, but I just got held up with, I had to help Kitty Ashcat get back into her Ubisoft account, because she's playing ranked Siege matches now. Don't know why. So she must really love it. But that was a 2-hour fiasco of trying to get her a 2-factor authorization. Because the girl just sets things up and doesn't remember anything she sets up with them. So anyway, I wasn't able to play today. And I also had to do some video stuff, and downloading and crazy stuff and putting the new hard drive in here, and just because of the first story we'll get to in the news. But but I'm really looking forward to going back to it. I may play an hour and a half or so before Adventure Island tomorrow. It just depends on when I get home. I have to pre-bowl for my bowling league, because I do have work on Tuesday at the basketball. But if I get home in enough time and eat, maybe I'll squeeze an hour and a half in before Adventure Island. We'll see. Yeah, like I said, the Should I Stream It games are going to be not consistent on when I play them. They're going to play how I would play them. So there was a chance that I was even going to play after this stream, but I just got worn out by, all the video editing I had to do. And, stuff like that. So no tonight, but there might be a random time when I pop on at 10 p.m. because that's when I would normally play. That's basically what I'm doing with these Should I Stream It games, is that if I find a game that I do want to share with you guys, but I don't want to put it on a weekly schedule, like I want to play it more consistently, we'll just play it when I would normally play a game in there. So there might be times when I go a week or more without playing a game. And when we start getting more and more games on there, I might be jumping back and forth. I know it's not great for building an audience, but I want to share the authentic experience of playing games, how I play them. It's why you guys, I know Metal Militia and a bunch of people have always asked, you play all these games in a year, how do you do it? And I'm going to show you how insane my schedule is for this stuff. And how much I don't sleep when I probably should when there are games I really want to play. But anyway, more Avowed coming. The other game I randomly picked up, basically because of the Four Nations tournament that the NHL did this week. For those of you that didn't watch it, that was probably some of the greatest hockey I've ever seen. I picked back up NHL 25. It was like $27. I could have waited for it to be free in like 4 months, but I'm like, I'm not, I have the interest to play it now. I'm done my trial. I'm just going to bite the bullet, because that's less than if I went online and did the, I don't even know if it's on EA Pro on Origin. But yeah, it'd be cheaper than doing that. So I just bought it. I forget what I said when I was playing through the trial back in the summer or September, whenever, I think it's like late August, September, these games come out. But the one thing I've noticed, two things, it's definitely a stepping stone game to hopefully 26 is better and takes the steps that this game did. The focus is not doing great tonight on Big Mark. So the first thing is the offense. When you're in the offensive zone, it is much better than it's been in recent years. You used to only have like 3 or 4 ways to score, and a lot of it was individual one-on-one plays or cross ice on 2-on-1s and stuff like that. You couldn't really like set up offense in a zone and like cycle and pass around to try and find an open guy. You can do that now. You can pass and deke and get guys to move. People are a little more shifty. If you have a good skating winger, they'll be able to, like, for lack of a better term, be able to deke a guy out of his shoes or skates and let you have an open pass or an open shot or something like that. They added the new precise one-timer system where your guy, when he's setting up for a one-timer, will get a little, like, bullseye under his player thing. So that if you can get a pass to that guy, he's set up for a one-timer. Works great when you're doing the power play. And that's another great thing in the offensive zone, is that the AI actually pretty much knows how to play hockey for the most part. Defensively, they're lacking. We'll get to that. But offensively, like, the guys move around. The only thing they still don't do is when I come off the boards and want to just, like, go to the net and, like I beat a defenseman off the boards, like, the guy that's sitting in the slot just sits there and doesn't move. And then I run into him and then lose the puck. Maybe they just got to smarten that up, that if they see you coming, they move. Even if you just glide it back or went for, like, anything except standing still. So they still got to fix that, but 99% of the other offensive stuff is great. They had the new pressure system where you get more and more passes and wear out the defense the longer you keep a puck in the zone. So it incentivizes passing around and working in the corners and stuff like that, and getting multiple shots on goal. So the offensive system is great, and I hope they take the steps to the next level to do it. Still have a lot of work to do defensively. I gave up 1 goal in a game because my 2 defensemen are side by side, and the puck is over here, right? And I wanted to control this guy, but I hit the button to change my player, and it gave me this guy here. For those of you not looking, it was the I guess I'm trying to say how it would be. So the guy on the left, if you're looking at the screen, like my right, the guy on the left here is where the puck is, and it gave me the guy on the right. And I kept trying to change so I could become the guy on the left to defend the puck on the left. But it wouldn't let me change because I guess the guy on the right here was a frame closer to the puck than the guy on the left, even though my guy would have to go through the other guy to get to the puck. So they kind of just smashed into each other, and then the guy just went in and scored. So I don't know. I maybe there's a system where I can hold the button down and then do like a face button or something to pick the guy I want. Maybe I'm just missing that because they did add that to passing, which helps a lot. But yeah, that pissed me off a little bit. But it was more so like I'm okay. I know I'm not great defensively. I'm okay when I give up goals. Most of the time they're not cheap. Sometimes it's like my goalie is awesome. Why is he giving up this dumb goal to, like, somebody? But mostly it's like, okay, I guess I gotta let scoring happen. But yeah, that frustrated me. But besides that, presentation needs a little bit of work. But yeah. So far I've been fine. It's an improvement on 24, and there are definitely things they can do for 26 to get it. I think the last great one was probably like 13 or 14. So, ever since the PS4 era, it hasn't been great. But yeah. So I've been playing a little bit of that. And then the other games I've been streaming, Adventure Island. We got through 2 of the 4 areas sections of Area 7. That first one was a pain in the ass because it had like 2 or 3 precise jumps on it. And it was ice. I think that was the main problem, but we got through them. The second level was easier, but we ran out of time because I only play an hour each time. And And then, so we got 2 more and then 1 more section. So I'm thinking either next week or the week after. Probably the week after. We'll be done. So probably first Monday in March. We'll finish up on that, and then we'll take probably a week off from that before jumping into the next game. That will also give me a time to put Avowed in for another day. Yeah, and then obviously, and then we're playing Trails in the Sky on Saturday. Yeah, and on the flip side of what Avowed's doing, Trails in the Sky immediately hooked me again with the story they're telling, the characters, which Trails in the Sky might be one of the best RPG series of all time, and it's like literally unknown to most casual American audience or Western audience. I hope that changes with the remake, but these games are amazing in their storytelling for an RPG. And the characters you care about them. Like I'm going around with probably the horniest character that I've seen in an RPG in Shira. She has literally hit on everyone we've talked to so far. And yeah, so we played that, but we didn't play much of it, because for some reason I just lost energy. Like I just started feeling not like sick. I just like, might have been something I ate. Maybe I ate too much or something, but I just lost energy and just was like, this is too much story and dialogue reading, and my body just doesn't have the energy. I think if I had like an energy drink or something, maybe I could have pushed through for a couple more hours. But yeah, so we were a little short this week, and I do apologize for that. But I'll make it up next Saturday. I'll start at 8 and play a little longer. But yeah, but I love that game. It's amazing. I didn't know about it. I forget who brought it. I think Tom brought it up. He probably saw it on one of the gaming channels he watches. And so, yeah. So, and I also looked up the way you should play through the series, because they've been released in the US in weird order. So I think we can go all the way. I think all the games from Trails in the Sky through Trails of Cold Steel are all out at this point. So we can go through the 3 here. Then I think it's like Azure, and I forget the other one. It's 2, and then it's the 4 Trails of Cold Steel games. So we can go right through them. We probably won't do them in a row. We'll probably have a game in between on the Saturday Night RPG. So we'll probably get around the 3rd chapter in 2026. But I am looking forward to it. So yeah, that's about it. I played another like half a game of Civ. I really got to wait for that game to be good. It's weird to say. But for those of us that have played Civ before, you know what I mean. Like, by the time, like, a year in, I should have waited, but I love Civ, and I bought all of them at launch. Oh, I didn't buy 5 at launch. But I did buy 6 and 7 at launch. About a year in, they usually have a bunch of updates and have added a bunch of stuff to the game. 6 didn't get good until about a year and a half in, when they started adding the disasters and a whole bunch of different, what's it called? Civilizations, I guess would be the easiest way to say it. But still chugging along. I'll still play it. Every time I play it, it's like 3 hours go by like it's nothing. That's what those games are meant for. So, yeah, so let us know in the comments here on YouTube or over on Blue Sky. We have a Discord set up. I don't know if I got to invite you over there, but we do have a Game Vault Pod Discord. If you'd like to join, I have to look into that. We should probably look into that, because I think you can just join it, and we just have to moderate it. But I'll look into it. But either way, we do have a Discord, so be sure to check that out. But now it is time for the news. And Why isn't the chat up? Yeah, you guys should be here. Oh well, we'll see what happens if... So see that black box right there? If you're watching on YouTube? That's where the chat should be. So let me just refresh this. That might be a Streamlabs thing. Oh, yep, there you go. Okay. So I will... test here. Sorry, it's going to be great for the audio listeners. Yes, the background works. Okay. So we're good for now. No. It's fine. It just would be behind my head, so you would go up. I might do something where it covers the whole thing. But for now, we're good. Because it ends at the top there. So, all right. Audio listeners. Sorry about that. So our first story here is Twitch implemented a new thing where you can only have 100 hours of highlights and uploads. So, your boy here has been using highlights as a way to make sure he didn't miss any videos, because I missed a couple Final Fantasy 16 videos, and that's why that playlist on YouTube isn't completed. I don't know if I can even complete it. I have to look through what I have, and I just got frustrated with it and stopped it. I got those 9 videos that I know are there, but I think we missed a couple here and there, and I don't know if it would be worth it. But anyway, that's the thing. So, thankfully, ours isn't as bad as these people that are up to like 5,000 hours, like speedrunners and stuff. So those, I don't know how they're going to do it, because we had 365 hours of highlights. I would say a third of those were Extra Life highlights. So it wasn't as bad. Yeah, I'd say almost a third of them were. It was almost 100 hours of Extra Life on there. I think. I don't know. I got it down to 60 hours. Basically what I did was I took out all of my stuff that I know I downloaded and uploaded, and made sure all the, what's it called? All the Extra Lives were taken care of. I did most of the Chrono Trigger stuff that I know was up. I left some of the Retro Roulette stuff that was saved. Yeah, I already took care of it. We're down to 60. So what we have is everything that's currently streaming. So Chrono Trigger, the last like 4 or 5 episodes are there. A whole bunch of our like 1 minute to 10 minute highlights on there, which I haven't decided what to do with yet. And we're even going to get down below that 60 because I have not erased the 2023 Extra Life, because I have not uploaded that to YouTube yet. So if something was uploaded to YouTube, I deleted it. If it was, what's it called? If it was not, or it was recent in like the last month and a half, I kept it there. I'm probably not going to highlight any of the news hours anymore going forward. I will highlight all the ongoing series like Avowed and Adventure Island and Trails in the Sky until they're finished. Or until we get close to the 100, then I'll back delete them. But I think we should be good. But yeah, so they kind of just dropped this and said we have to be ready by April 19th. So for us, it wasn't that big of a deal. I looked at a lot of the videos I deleted, nobody ever looked at. So it's no big deal there. I think the Extra Life stuff was the only stuff that had like views on it. But one of them is 13 hours long, and it's not really worth it to eat up that much of the 100-hour limit. But yeah, so the VODs stay up for 2 weeks since we are Prime subscribers. So yeah, you can always check out the VODs for those 2 weeks. And like I said, all the ongoing series will stay there. And once they are fully complete and up on YouTube, they are deleted off the Twitch, which is why I installed the 8 terabyte hard drive into this computer, because I'm going to make sure that we have backups of everything, that we need. And worst case, I either buy another hard drive at some point and we just keep doing it that way. But I want to make sure that we have, I'm not going to really back up the news hour and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll look into all that stuff. But for now, we're good. I've been using a 4 terabyte and we're almost there. I got about 500 gigabytes left on that. But I'm going to take all of that stuff and put it on the 8. So we have about another 4.5 on the 8 once I get all that on there. So I don't think we need it anytime soon, but it's definitely something we will need to talk about. But yeah, so that was the big story this week, was that Twitch. So if you have a Twitch account and you're listening to this, go ahead and you've been doing highlights to save your videos, and don't have a YouTube account, get a YouTube account and put those videos on there, because what this story says, I didn't really scroll down on it, because basically it's just talking about the 2 people that have over like thousands of hours. If you don't comply, they're just going to start deleting videos. And they start with your lowest viewed videos and then go from there until you get under 100 hours. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, download it. I think if you get DaVinci, you might be able to just do it one at a time. You can upload it right to YouTube. You don't need to do all the fancy stuff we do here. There's literally an export to YouTube button on DaVinci. I just do stuff that I can't do that. So it takes me a little longer. But yeah, so that was big first story here. And moving on, some good news. After failing to meet expectations, friggin' Square's high expectations, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is number 3 in the US charts with the Steam debut. Of course, Call of Duty's number 1, Final Fantasy, was able to. Yeah, this is why they should do multi-platform for Final Fantasy, for this exact reason. If they did multi-platform to begin with, it would have met those expectations. Square trying to do numbers that I don't even think The Last of Us do or did. For the yeah, I can't do any of that now. Okay, that's weird. Okay. Oh, sorry. I was trying to make that thing longer, but I can't do it right now without knowing the hotkeys, and I am not looking up the hotkeys. So anyway, that'll mean nothing to the audio listeners what happened. So yeah, I think this gives ammunition to everyone that said at Square that is pushing for multi-platform for everything, because that's how you make your money. So yeah, that was very, very interesting. Getting to number 3 for a game that remake did good numbers, so I don't know why we're shocked, but yeah, just more ammunition for the we should go multi-platform. All right. Next 2 stories I'm calling the Kitty Ashcat section. First off, NetEase reportedly almost canceled Marvel Rivals because it didn't use original IP. So even though I didn't see a story on the layoffs that NetEase did, but I'll just fill that in. So NetEase did. They laid off the Seattle team, and and I think basically they're bringing a lot of the production and stuff in-house in China, is what they're probably doing here. But this story was great, that they almost didn't, like, make the game because it didn't have original IP, and it's one of the biggest hero shooters since Overwatch. And it's kind of insane that they cost themselves millions of dollars trying to cancel it, and then ended up basically making all that money back by not canceling it. So, yeah, so good for Kitty Asscat and her love of magic. The character in Marvel Rivals, who she is now obsessed with. I think she's actually might start reading the comic books. So, thumbs up. Way to go, Marvel Rivals. You made a new comic book fan. So next up, and her other story, Ubisoft announces Siege X, the biggest transformation in Rainbow Siege history. New gameplay, graphics. Siege X is not Rainbow Six Siege 2, but rather a significant change for the Rainbow Six Siege, destined to set the competitive multiplayer game for its second decade of live service. Yeah, so it's just basically going to be, I don't see anything where she'll have to buy anything for it. But yeah, this is probably a very, very, a very big deal to her. And as I said, we had to set up a whole two-factor thing for her account. Besides the fact that now I got to trust her to use an Authy app. And I don't know. I'm going to be getting text messages about that for sure. But yeah, her first question when we set this all up so she could do ranked matches, she turns to me and goes, "Will I get my ass kicked?" And I said, "Probably. But you'll get better at the game. That's the point of it." But just such an innocent question from her about it. But she's much better at it than I am. Funny story. So she had lost access to her Ubisoft account because she got logged out and she does not remember passwords. I think more Gen Z kids have it so easy that everything's saved for them that they don't memorize anything. And we have to deal with boomers who don't want to do anything. So we figured out how to get her account back. So she was logging into my account. So she logged into my Ubisoft Connect account. And then said she couldn't find Siege. Well, of course she couldn't, because I don't have Siege. So I went and bought it. It was only like $20 or something like it. It was really cheap just to get her the base game. And she calls me back like 10 minutes later and goes, "Oh man, your account stinks. It only has the beginning operators." And I'm like, "Yes, I don't play the game. Of course it's not going to have the operators." So yeah, I had a whole conversation with her today, which had my oldest niece rolling, laughing, because I was trying to explain to her 3 different times that the reason I didn't have anything is because I literally bought the game for her the night she started playing it. Like, I've never touched the game. Didn't spend for the extra thing to have other operators. I was just trying to get her in the game so she could play with her friends. And yeah, so I hope this doesn't, I'm so glad we updated to the 3060 for her, because she will be upset if she wasn't able to play Marvel Rivals. All right, next up, we have one of my favorite things. So, if you didn't watch our State of Play video. It is on the YouTube channel. Look for it. It's in this playlist, I think, for the News Hour. Or you didn't listen last week when I broke down the state of play. They're remastering Days Gone for reasons I don't know. But they announced that it's a $10 upgrade for PS5 with a bunch of asterisks. One of those asterisks, and Tom, I don't know if you've looked into this since we talked about it. If you downloaded Days Gone as part of having PlayStation Plus in the freeway, it was an Essentials monthly game in April 2021. You cannot use the $10 upgrade system. You have to buy the full game at $50. To which, my favorite thing is which led everybody to go, nah, I'm good. I'll just keep playing the game, the free game. Nothing you offered in the new upgrade is outside of new graphics is worth it. I love the subhead. If you're watching the video, you've already seen it. But for the audio listeners, the subhead says, I'll stick with the one I got. Which was essentially my reaction to that asterisk. I haven't even played Days Gone at all. And I was like, oh, I'll spend the $10. It's $10. You know, to get the PS5 upgrade for if I ever play it. Or if it ever comes up on some random content we have to make for here. Why not have the upgraded one there? But, yeah, so if you're looking to use your PS Plus Essentials free copy of Days Gone to upgrade the PS5. So, but I doubt that it's going to get people to buy the $50 version. I don't think... I will say this now on this podcast, and I don't know if Metal Militia agrees with me. I can see them reversing this in 3 weeks after the sales aren't good. They'll just be like, yeah, oh, now you can do it. Now, if you got this for free, you can do $10. Yep, you can do it, just because they want to make money. And those people are not going to do it out of principle. So they've lost their chance to get that money. I can see the boardroom thought process of, no, these people got it for free. They got to pay for the upgrade. Full price. Because they got it for free. Instead of going, oh, all these other people that just downloaded this for free, maybe they'll spend the $10 and we can make money off them. Because look at all the Steam sales where people buy shit they don't play. So, excuse me for the rubbing the nose and sniffing. Game Vault Cat decided to join me, and I'm kind of petting her so she doesn't make noise. And I'm allergic to cats, so. Alright, so next up here. Oop, wrong one. There we go. Next up here. Shuhei Yoshida, who may be my... I'm going to scroll down so you don't have to watch this video. Shuhei Yoshida may be my favorite former executive going around doing the rounds, because every interview he does, he reveals something new. So in this one, Yoshida commented that he played the Naughty Dog multiplayer, The Last of Us multiplayer, and it was great, which I don't doubt. Naughty Dog's pretty good at what they do. But the way it goes is basically what happened was, and the reason why I pulled this story, is that they talked to friends at Bungie, and Bungie explained to them what it means to release a live service game, and how much work goes into making it, and then keeping it upgraded, and then doing all the expansions and all that, because, Destiny. And immediately, Naughty Dog went, nope, that is fine. We want to do Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, that single-player game, their space game they're making. So it would have they wouldn't have been able to focus on the single player stuff, which is their thing. If they did this, even though they did a really good job at this. So yeah. So we're getting a new IP from them coming up instead of the Last of Us Online, which, to be honest, I'm cool with. As much as the Last of Us Online would have been cool, I would rather play a single player Naughty Dog game than an online shooter. So good on them for that. Next up, speaking of Last of Us, so we have the release date for the Last of Us TV show. I'm just going to be quick here. They are coming Sunday, April 13th at 9 p.m. So it'll be 7 episodes. Yeah, I don't... and it's Wyoming, not Montana. I just noticed that mistake. They're in Jackson, Wyoming, not Montana. Come on, people, get a map. So, I'm interested because The Scene, because they're following the second game, I have 2 theories on The Scene. So that's they're either going to do it in the first episode, and then he's just going to, and that's just going to be flashbacks of that character for the rest of the season. Or it's going to end the last episode, and that's how they end the second season, is with The Scene. I think putting the movie TV critic writer hat on, I think it's better if they do it in episode 1. Maybe end episode 1 with it. And then everything from there on out is a flashback leading up to that moment. And then you end with Ellie leaving Jackson. And that's how you end season 2. But the downside to doing it that way is that they showed a lot of footage of Seattle in the trailer. And which makes me think that they're going to do The Scene in episode 1, and then it's just going to follow the games, and there's not going to be, complete flashbacks. So, we'll see. I think they're going to start episode 1. I think they're going to do the whole opening of the game, and they're going to do the scene, and then episode 2 is going to be meeting Abby. And then I don't know what they'll do from there, but I think that's how they're going to go. I think it's going to be the whole Abby backstory in episode 2. And then from there, I don't know how they're going to interlace the stories from there, but I think that's the way the first 2 episodes have to go, but who knows? I'm just excited because of everybody involved. I love Caitlin Devers, and while she doesn't have the same physical stature as Abby, I think they're going for a different Abby in this. But yeah, so I am excited. April 13th. Can't get here soon enough. I'm trying not to spoil exactly. My coworker kind of figured it out because he read things online but didn't get direct spoiled, but kind of figured it out. Because some people were like, how long is Pedro Pascal going to be around? So he kind of figured out what happens. But I didn't tell him exactly how it happens. And for those of us who played the game, you know what that means. So, yeah. I'm excited to see what they do here. And just finally, just last 2 PSA stuff for you guys here. If you have any Nintendo Switch Gold points, you have to use them before March 25th. So go in. Gold points, you usually use them for games and things like that, or little trinkets and things. So if you have any gold points and you can use them, and you've gotten enough to get something, just get whatever you can get. Because March 25th, they're just cutting it off. So at this point, I'm assuming that's because they're probably going to be announcing a Switch 2 date. And it's easier to just cut them off before that stuff is announced and needing to answer those questions. And you only usually got to keep the points for 12 months anyway. So, you probably don't have a whole lot of points, but just go in and get what you can. So PSA, if you have any Nintendo eShop Gold points, use them now. And finally, Xbox Game Pass Wave 2, February 2025. First up, we have EA Sports F1 24 coming to Ultimate and PC. Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader coming for Ultimate, PC Game Pass, and Game Pass Standard. Watchdog Legion, Ultimate, PC Game Pass, Standard. I think I had that for PS5, so not really going to help me there. But those are the games in Wave 2, along with Avowed as well, which we mentioned previously. So the game's leaving. So if you have started games with this and have not beaten them, get to it. First off, F1 22, which obviously they probably needed the bandwidth, so they just dropped that to bring the new one in. Grease, Maneater, which I believe is the shark game. Paw Patrol, Patrol World. Good luck explaining to your kids. If you have the money, I would recommend buying it, because that's not a good conversation to have. Space Engineers, Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun, Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Wow, I remember that game getting announced and forgot that went through a whole cycle of being in and out of Game Pass. And Yakuza 3 and 4 Remastered is going as well. So if you're playing any of those games, either purchase them or try and beat them in the next week here. So, yeah. So that'll do it for the podcast. It's been fun, as it always is. Just talking some news here, updating you on the lives of the podcast favorite nieces, and just everything going on. So, house cleaning. We'll be here tonight with definitely Adventure Island, maybe some Avowed beforehand. Thursday, I think we're going to be grinding. We're going to go through the 7th side quest that we did not do on Chrono Trigger to level up our characters a little bit. And to get through and beat the final boss. We can't get through the final form of the boss, but we got all the way to the final form. It feels very much like a Trails in the Sky moment, except I don't think Tom has the time to go as crazy as I did and grind it for 8 hours off stream. So we're just going to go through that final side mission, see if we level up enough, give it another crack at Lavos, either Thursday or the next Thursday. And if we're still slightly under leveled, then I guess Tom can grind off stream if he can between Thursdays. Find somewhere. Apparently we knocked out a grinding point by finishing a side quest, but you live or learn. So that'll be Thursday. Friday will be Avowed, because I don't think anything new is coming out for us to play then. And then Saturday will be Trails in the Sky, and probably in the afternoon, if I don't have any basketball or anything, we'll be playing some more Avowed. Same with Sunday. If there's no basketball or anything going on, we'll be playing some Avowed there before the news hour. That's essentially how it'll work. I'll be playing, when I be wanting to play Avowed, I'll play Avowed, and I'll stream it for you guys while I do. So, yeah. That'll do it. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Metal Militia. Thank you, everybody else, for watching. And we'll see you next time. Bye!